Hi everyone, and this is the second of a short video that I'm doing specifically for legs and bottom strengthening. This is level 2, so it's a little bit more challenging than the first video that I recorded. If you're not happy, you can go back to level 1. As usual, listen to your body. If you're not happy with anything, don't do. If you've got any issues with your knees or with your hips or with your back, this one probably won't be as appropriate for you. You're still welcome to give it a try, but if you're in doubt, then just go back to the first video because, as mentioned, this one is going to be a little bit harder. I haven't really got a lot of equipment here. I've just got my mat. I've got a couple of head blocks. You don't have to use those. If you've got a cushion or a towel or something, use that instead. If you have got a TheraBand, brilliant, because it just adds a little bit of extra resistance into what we're doing. But again, you don't have to use a band. If you haven't got one, don't worry about it, basically. Right, so we're going to do a little warm-up first. Okay, so we're just going to get straight to it. The idea with these little short videos is so that you can sort of put them together as you wish, really. So I'm going to do ones for legs, arms, abs, and a mobility one as well. And there's going to be 2 levels of each, so level 1, level 2, and you can just mix and match as you please to create your own workout as you want to do. So we're going to start off with some squats. Now we're going to take the feet out to the side, so a little bit wider than your hips. We're going to open the toes out. And then before you start, just make sure that your weight is even through your feet, tailbone slightly tucked under, shoulder blades are down. We're going to reach the arms out to the side. Now you don't have to do this if you're not happy shoulder wise. Either cross your arms in front, you can take hands to elbows and just bring your arms in front here, or hands on hips if you prefer, okay? So we're just going to come down into your squat. Now when you come down, make sure knees are angling out over second and third toes, so we don't want them doing this sort of thing, okay? And then we're going to come back up. So we're going to come down and we're going to lift. Breathe in as you come down, breathe out as you come up. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to keep going. This is going to be a continuous little sequence for the legs. But if you need to stop for whatever reason, then just give yourself a little rest. So we're going to keep going. We're going to do 2 more. On the next one, we're going to come all the way down and then just come up halfway. And then all the way down again and all the way up. So all the way down, up half, all the way down, all the way up. Try and keep going with the breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, in, out. Keep going. Now we're going to progress again on the next one. So we're going to come down, we're going to hold it, we're going to add some heel lifts in. You can do both heels or you can do one heel at a time. We're going to breathe out, breathe in lower, breathe out lift, breathe in lower, breathe out. Breathe in. Keep that connection going on with the tummy, pubic bone to tummy button. Deepening into that connection every time you lift the heels. Let's do 2 more. Last one we're going to hold. So keep the heels up. We're going to stretch up the knees. And then keep the heels up. We're going to bend the knees back down. So a bit more of a balance challenge now. So breathe out, stretch. Breathe in, control back down, keeping that nice angle going through the legs. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Just watch the balance. Let's do 2 more. Get to the top, we're going to lower the heels. We're going to come down into your squat and we're going to pulse. 10, 9, nice and slow. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come up. Well done now. Just shake off your legs. I've already done a load of leg work this morning, so it's killing me right now, but never mind. So we're going to do some lunges as well. So lunges, really lovely functional exercise. We lunge all the time. Every time you go and pick something up off the floor, it's a lunge. So really useful exercises to do, but they're bloody horrible. So just stop if you need to. So we're going to lift up the back heel, make sure that both feet are pointing forwards. And again, you can take your arms out to the side, you can cross them in front, whatever you want to do, hands on hips. We're sinking the back knee down towards the floor, but we're still watching what's going on with the front leg. So just make sure as you come down, you're not doing this sort of thing. Okay, so we're coming down, we're coming up. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. As you breathe out, connect pubic bone to tummy button just that little bit deeper. So we're still thinking about what's going on around your core. Keep the pelvis level, keep your shoulders down, and keep it going. Next one, we're going to come all the way down again, up half, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, up half, all the way down, all the way up. Take your arms out if you want to. Let's keep going. We're going to do one more. And then we're going to come down. We're going to hold at the bottom and we're going to go back to your pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Well done. Have a little shake. Like I say, my legs are burning up today. Went for a run the other day as well, which probably hasn't helped. So we're going to, again, just make sure that you're in the right place before we start. So take a step forward with the other leg. Make sure your feet are both pointing forwards. We're going to lift the back heel. And again, connect. We're going to come down and up. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. Arms out if you want to. On the next one, we're going to come all the way down, up half, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, up half, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, up half, all the way down, all the way up. Let's just do one more, and I'm going to go back to your pulses for 10. Down to the bottom, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come up. Well done. And again, just shake off your legs. Gosh, don't know if that's just me. That was quite hard. Right, so we're going to do a little bit more in standing. If you've got your TheraBand, great. If you haven't, don't worry, you can do it without. If you have got your band, we're just going to tie your legs together. So when you tie them together, we're aiming for mid-thigh, so in between your knee and your hip. Try and keep the feet and the knees quite close together as you're tying the legs up. Obviously, if you've got your legs out to the side, it doesn't work quite as well. So we're going to just have the band on. You don't have to have it so tight you can't move. The aim is just to give you just a little bit of extra resistance. So we're going to go back to some squats, but we're going to make them a little bit more dynamic and a little bit kind of more, just generally just moving around the mat a little bit more. So just make sure you've got space to move about. I'm just going to take those blocks off there. Okay, so band is on. We're going to breathe out. We're going to come down into a squat, and then we're going to come back up. Other side. Up, down, up. So we're just taking the arms in front as you come down into your squat. And obviously, we're just pushing out against the band a little bit more now. Same things apply. So as you come down into your squat, you just need to watch your angle of your knees as you're bending. So we don't want to be sweeping the knees in. we're going to change it a little bit on the next one. So we're going to come down into your squat. As you come up, we're just going to add a little lift with the other side. Okay, so we're coming down and lift, down and lift. Press the arms forward, press the arms back slightly as you come up. Now, it's hard to keep the pelvis completely level when you're doing this, but you're trying to you obviously keep your balance, keep the core in, breathing wise, you breathe in as you come down and breathe out as you come up. Just helps to give you that little bit of extra just behind the movement. So let's just do one more on each side. And then again, just shake your legs off. Now we're going to do a little bit of balance work as well. So what I want you to do is we're going to just bring the feet just underneath your hips. Just get your breath back for a moment. My radiator pumping out a bit of heat here, so I'll just turn that off. Right, so nice level pelvis. We're just going to shift your weight onto one side. So with this, it's really important you try and keep the pelvis level, so we don't want to be hitching, dropping through the pelvis or overly twisting. Just try and keep everything pointing forwards. So shift your weight onto one side. So let's start with shifting your weight onto your left leg. Okay, we're going to hover the right leg away from the floor, and we're just going to bring the knee up towards you slightly, and then we're going to stretch the leg out behind. Now when you stretch out, we're going to try and keep the pelvis level, keep your core switched on, and we're getting into your glutes. So we're going to come up and we're going to stretch behind. Okay, so if I stand sideways on, we're going to lift the leg up and we're going to stretch it out, and again up and stretch. So again, a bit of a balance challenge as well. Your standing leg will feel it as well as the leg that you're stretching. So we're going to breathe in as you come in, breathe out to stretch out. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out, in, out. Now if you want to, you can add arms in with this. So as you take the knee up, the opposite arm is going to reach up in front, and then as you stretch back, we're switching. Okay, so we're coming up and we're stretching back. So you can see a bit more of a balance challenge again, especially when you're talking at the same time. So coming up, stretching back, up, stretch, up, stretch. So your supporting leg might well be feeling it quite a bit now. So let's just do two more. And then come down and just give yourself another little shake off. So we're going to do the same on the other side, and then we're going to come down onto the floor. So again, just set yourself up, hands on hips to start. We're going to take the other leg up and then stretch it back. Breathe in, breathe out, press. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, if I stand sideways on, we're coming up, stretching back. So really trying to get into glutes. Try not to overarch into your back. Obviously you will get a bit of spinal extension coming in, but we're thinking more about hip. So let's keep going. Let's add your arms back in. So watch your balance again. So knee comes up, opposite arm lifts, stretch the leg back, swap arms. So we're coming up and stretching. Up, stretch. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Again, it's the supporting leg that will feel it quite heavily as well. So you might well feel some aching coming through into that supporting leg. Let's keep going. We're going to do two more. Well done. Come down. Shake your legs off for a moment. Grab a drink if you need one. If your house is as hot as mine, definitely need one. Right, so we're going to come down onto your side. We're going to do some side leg work. going to keep the band on your legs if you've got your band on. If you haven't, again, don't worry, we're just going to do it without. Now you have an option with this next little sequence. You can either lie flat, okay, so we're going to have the legs out straight. You can either lie completely flat through your upper body as well, with some sort of support in between your arm and your ear, okay? If you've got neck problems, shoulder problems, or if you want to work a little bit easier, this is the position for you, okay? If you want to work a bit harder, get yourself a little 1-inch pad or a cushion or a towel folded in half, and you're just going to support your forearm onto that bit of padding, okay? Just make sure though that as we go along, you're not letting that supporting shoulder hunch like this up towards your ear. So we want to keep that length coming down in between your ear and your shoulder. Make sure you're not hunching. Shoulder blade is gently drawing down, and we're just trying to lift into the side. So if you're lying flat, you're thinking about your little blueberry in between your side and the floor, keeping that sense of space there. In this position, we want to just think about drawing up through your sides. So what I don't want you to do is this sort of thing. So we don't want to sag your side towards the floor, okay? So we're thinking pubic bone to tummy button, nice lift through the chest, look down at the feet, make sure you can't see your kneecaps. We want that nice straight line, foot to knee to hip to shoulder, and we're just going to lift and lower into that top leg. So we're going to breathe out, lift, breathe in, down, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So check that shoulder isn't hunching. You're not sagging down through your side. Now we're going to do one more. This time we're going to hold the foot just so that it's level with the hip. We're going to slide the leg forward and we're going to slide the leg back. Now we're keeping the knee straight in both directions. It's a small movement. So think about hinging from the hip in both directions. You want to take the leg back just far enough to feel your glutes firing off when you take the leg back behind you. So we're coming forward and back. Forward and back. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Let's do one more. Back to neutral, into circles. We're going to rotate the whole leg round. Now again, try and keep going with the breathing. We're breathing out on the way up, in on the way down. Out, in, out, in, out, in. Keep the lift, keep the shoulder down, keep the tummy in. Let's do one more round this way, then we're going to reverse it. Out, in, breathe out, breathe in. Might start to feel heavy now. Keep it going. We're going to do two more. Well done. Hug the knee in and give yourself a little breather for a moment. Let's clip my back there as well. Fabulous. Right, so we're going to turn onto the other side. Just get the other side just done and out of the way. So if you were flat before, we're going to be flat again. If you were propped up before, we're going to be propped up again. So set yourself up accordingly. So again, we want to be lifting through the side, shoulder down, connect the core. Off we go with that top leg. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, in, out, in, out, in, out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. We're going to do two more. And take the leg down just to hip level. We're going to do your leg kicks. Slide forward, slide back. Again, just a small movement each direction, but we're keeping the foot level with the hips. So try not to let the foot drop. Don't take it up too high. As you take the leg back, we're thinking about glutes again. So get that activation coming through into the back of the hip. It's hard not to twist into your upper body, and it's hard not to tense up through into the shoulders too much. So just be mindful of that as well. Just try and keep everything at the top as relaxed as possible. Last one, back to neutral, into your circles. Breathe out, breathe in, 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 breathe out, breathe in. Last time. Back around the other way. Again, you're probably getting some heaviness coming through the leg now. Keep drawing down into that supporting shoulder. Last two. Oh gosh, just about got there. Bring the knee in. A little click of the back again. Don't recommend that particularly, but it does feel quite nice. Anyway, so we're going to come over now onto hands and knees. Now, if you've got your little block, just pop it underneath your knees just for a little bit of cushioning. We're going to come onto hands and knees. Now, again, if you're not happy, don't do, okay, simple as that. Go back to the first video, level 1, or just stick with the easier options with this, okay? So first thing, shoulder blades are going to draw down the back. Just make sure you're not hunching, nice long neck, neutral through the spine. Okay, we're going to start with the left leg. So we're going to stretch the leg out behind, and then we're going to bring it back in. Now, on the way in, try not to touch the floor. We're just going to bring the knee in towards your chest slightly, but we're not going to curve through the spine. Okay, so we're just coming to neutral, and then we're going to stretch. Come in, come out. So again, it's hard not to twist through the pelvis with this one, but if you imagine you've got a tray of drinks on the back of your pelvis that you don't want to spill, so we're just trying to really visualise you're keeping the pelvis as level as you can. Try not to arch into the back, keep the tummy switched on. Last one, hold at the top, we're going to come down and up. Breathing down, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, try not to overarch into the back, it is difficult. Last two. And then we're going to hold at the top, we're going to add your knee bends in. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Really stretch through the leg each time. Last two. And we're going to hold just 5 circles each direction. Trying to keep that nice control still around the pelvis. Back round the other way. And come in, well done. Just have a little stretch before we do the other side. Back up, same position. Okay, we're going to go back to your stretches. So we're going to bring the knee in, we're going to stretch it out. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. In, out. Keep it going. Again, we want nice level pelvis. Keep the tummy switched on. Shoulder blades are down. Imaginary tray of drinks sitting on your back. Last one, we're going to stretch and hold. Nice straight leg, we're going to come down to the floor. Keep the tap with the toes really light as you come down, so try not to thud the foot into the floor each time. So breathe in down, breathe out up. Breathe in, breathe out. And we're going to do one more. We're going to hold it, going to add your knee bends in. Breathe out, bend, breathe in, stretch. You can do it the other way around. You can breathe in, bend, out, stretch. Doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're breathing. Just do what feels more natural for you. But again, we don't want to be twisting through the spine and pelvis. So let's just do one more, and then we're going to do your circles again. Stretch the leg out. We're going to do 5 each way. Nice straight leg. Sweep the leg round. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're just working from the hips. We're not arching the back. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And come in. Well done. Give yourself another breather. Great, so bridges next. Okay, so this is the last little bit that we're going to do. Up to you whether you have a little block or a big block under your head, just go by what feels comfortable. If you feel like you're desperately losing your chin as you're coming up into the bridge, you probably want to come a bit flatter under your head. So I prefer to start with a smaller pad with these, but just go with what you feel happy with really. So we're going to keep the band on, so if you've got the band on, keep it there. We're going to come down onto your back. And we're going to do your normal ups and downs just to start with. Okay, so shoulders are relaxed, feet, knees, hips parallel. Take a breath in and then we're going to come up. So you're going to breathe out, lift, keep the pelvis nice and level. Breath in, hold, and breathe out, roll back down. So every time you lift, make sure you're taking it up high enough to feel those glutes activating at the top. So you really want to squeeze into those glutes and then come back down. Keep it going. Now we're going to gradually layer in. You don't have to do the added progressions. Just stop where you feel comfy. You can just stay with this if you want. So first layer, we're going to lift. We're going to add your hip openers. So we're staying in the bridge. We're going to breathe out, take one knee to the side, breathe in, bring it back. So the leg you're not moving stays nice and still. We're alternating legs each time. Try not to drop the hips. Breathe out, open, breathe in, close. Breathe out, open, breathe in, close. Shoulders are nice and drawing down and relaxed. We're going to do one more each side. Now remember, if you need to stop and have a rest, then do. Back to the centre, we're going into hip drops. We're just going to drop the hips straight down to the floor, but don't let them touch. Squeeze and lift back up. Breathe in, down, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, down, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, down, breathe out, lift. Let's keep going. We're going to do one more. Hold at the top, we're going into your tabletop lifts. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Try not to drop the pelvis. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, nice and level through the front. Try and connect into your core each time you lift, just that little bit more. We're going to do one more on each side. And then we're going to go back to your hip drops. So we're going to come down and lift. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So we're not touching the floor each time. Think sitting bones towards one another on the way up. And just try and go straight up rather than out on an angle. So we don't want to be drifting the hips to one side. 2 more. And then we're going to hold at the top. This time we're going to take your left leg straight up to the ceiling. We're going to lower it down. We're going to lift it up and down and up. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend the knee. Bring the foot to the floor. Stretch your right leg to the ceiling. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift. We're going to do 2 more. Bend the knee. Bring the foot to the floor. Nice big deep breath in, and then we're going to lower back down as you breathe out. And then hug your knees in. Well done. So we're going to finish just with a few stretches. So let your back flatten. We're going to circle the legs round. Great, so bring your feet down. We're going to just stretch your glutes now. So you can take your band off, untie the knot, so we can use it to stretch your hamstrings in a moment. We're just going to place one foot onto the opposite knee. If that's already enough, you can leave it where it is, but I'm assuming because you've done this little sequence, your hip mobility is pretty good anyway. So you can draw the other knee in towards your chest. So take the foot away from the floor, draw the knee in. Well, I just fight with this. I can never undo these knots, ridiculous. So just hold it, breathe. So just support the back of the thigh with your hands. Well done. So feet to the floor. Repeat on the other side. And then we're going to do your hamstrings as well. So take your band, if you've got it. If you haven't, don't worry, just support around the back of the thigh with your hands. If you have got your band, we're just going to loop it around the middle of the foot. Hold on to the ends with your hands. We're just going to stretch the leg to the ceiling. So enough to feel the stretch coming through the back of the leg, but what we don't want is this sort of thing. So we don't want the leg desperately shaking, just keep it gentle. And we're just going to point and flex the ankle. If you want, you can stretch the other leg down. Just try and keep the shoulders relaxed. It's really easy to tense up into your shoulders and upper body. Okay, so just let that knee bend. Take the other one back up as well. And we'll switch sides. So again, reach the leg up. Get that nice stretch coming through the back. Slide the other one to the floor. And again, we're just going to point and flex if you want to. One side might well feel tighter than the other. And then just let that knee come in. So pop your band out the way. We're just going to bend the knees up. Glue the feet and the knees together, take your arms out to the sides. Your hands are level with your shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down. We're going to take both knees over to one side. Just let your head rotate into the opposite direction. Take a nice big deep breath in, and then we're going to connect into your core. Breathe out, take the knees back up to the centre, and then we're going to go over to the other side. So we're trying to keep the shoulder blades drawing down heavily into the mat. So breath in, hold, breathe out, come back up. And we're just going to keep going, we're just going to keep switching sides. Let's just do one more each way. Well done. So carefully turn onto one side, come up into sitting, and we're just going to finish just with a couple of bits on hands and knees. So you can go back to your little pad under your knees if you want, hands roughly under shoulders, but you can just put them where it feels more comfy for your wrists if you like. So a bit further forwards, a bit wider if you want to. Just make sure shoulder blades are drawing down, and we're going to go into your cat stretch. So breath in, breathe out, scoot the tailbone under, draw up through the tummy, hold at the top for a breath in, and then we're going to come back down again, opposite direction. So just make sure you're coming down enough so that you can feel a bit of a stretch coming into your upper back. So scoot the tailbone under, curling up. Breath in, hold. And then we're coming back down again as you breathe out. Let's just do two more. So I quite like to look ahead when you're coming back down into that extended position. But just listen to your body, don't do anything that you're not happy with. Just work with what feels comfortable. So last one. and then stretch the arms. Drop your bottom back onto your heels.
And we're just going to come down, and I just want you to breathe. So now we're just letting everything go. Nice big deep breaths in and out. Fab. Carefully come up.
So well done. Hopefully you feel like you've blasted out through your legs and your bottom muscles. You might feel a bit achy potentially, hopefully not. I hope for you to join me again, perhaps in one of the next short little blasts that I'm going to try and get done today. And like I said before, you can just piece them all together and come up with your own little routine. You can chop and change, use different sequences as you wish. So hope you enjoyed, and hope for you to join me again whenever you like, really. Okay.